Woo! Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the news and updates. I am Laurel, and we're here to share with you the news from around the Altspace VR community. And here's Donna.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Laurel. Hello, everyone. I'm Donna McTee, here to help host another in our third year, delivering you the news from around the Altspace VR community. And we have so much to share with you today. We're not actually sure where to begin. So we're starting with Altspace VR news that you need to know. Now, let's start with some not so fun stuff. April Fool's Day was not a good day for server outage, but one hit the Microsoft Azure servers that hosted many Microsoft Teams, Dynamics, Xbox Live, and Altspace VR servers. Excuse me. It was a DNS issue and resolved within 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on where you were in the world. Not the virtual world, but in the actual real world. DNS is the domain name servers, the links that tie the web together. When there's an issue, web pages and web services do not load. These server issues are luckily rare, but they do stir up anxieties. For those who were at Altspace during the outage, some were thrown out while others were able to stay connected. Luckily, the community pulled together to keep each other informed and updated. What an amazing community, right? But oh my gosh, there was panic. I was reading on Twitter about all these like how much this outage, how many arteries it went down through, and how many companies had clients that were down. And I don't know if it was related or not, but I had some time. Altspace was down, so I thought, well, I'll go do something in my bank account. My bank, I'm a national bank in Canada, CIBC. Their bank was down. It's never been down for me ever. And I couldn't believe it. So we are very, the globe is big, but we're really connected very closely. So now on to the fun stuff. And we have plenty of fun stuff to share with you.
Yes. Now, first up was a huge update with all kinds of goodies for our community. When you arrived on Tuesday, you were greeted with a new title screen. This is the first of several phases, so don't get too worried about it. To introduce the long-awaited room codes for events. We've been requesting this for private events for over 5 years, and now they are available for public and private events, but it's still early days.
How it works is that each event has an entry code made up of letters and numbers. It is currently only visible in World um, through too many steps in the user interface, but that's why we are here to help you guide through the process. In World, go to Event, Info, More, Share, Copy Code. Event hosts may then share that code with their attendees and everyone. Now, what does that code do?
And when you first arrive in Altspace VR, you now see that new title screen. If you have the code, you copy it and you paste it in, or you type it into the enter code panel. It will jump you right to the event if the event is open, and it'll show the event page if it isn't, which is excellent. Love that. Okay. It's direct access to an event without digging through the menus and bouncing around the other worlds. However, it is just a one-way ticket right now, so to speak.
Now, once used, if you leave the event or go into Altspace VR directly, you don't have access to that code screen unless you exit Altspace VR completely and re-enter. They are working on a way to allow users to enter the code without exiting, and we hope to have that available soon. Another issue comes up with new users. The use of the code skips the tutorials, info zone, etc., and goes straight to the event. This means that they will land in your event without having learned simple navigation. Just something for event hosts to be aware of. For experienced users, this isn't an issue, but a lot of them experienced users won't necessarily use the event code. So just for first-time users, this can be intimidating. So we're thrilled that this is a step in the right direction for improving access to private and public events, and eager to see improvements as they are released.
Yes, indeed. We had a couple events this week with brand new people, and they skipped the whole tutorial and they couldn't move off the spawn point. So we spent too much of the event trying to get them to learn how to move. So love the code effect, but can't wait for it all to come together in a nice, neat package. Among the other fixes and improvements with the latest release came support for Microsoft logins for Mac users. Mac users are instructed to update their clients immediately to be able to access the Microsoft login option, as well as there have been some improvements to it lately to the Mac client. So you want the full benefit of this. So we have more and more Mac users that are coming in. That is very, very exciting. And they're eager to explore virtual reality because Mac doesn't support it. Now Altspace does. So we love welcoming them here.
Other issues with the Microsoft account login and links have mostly been resolved, but some users are still having trouble with persistent login requests each time they enter into Altspace VR. Please report all of these through Settings Support Forum and upload logs to help them resolve these issues.
Mhm. Now, audio issues. I know the audio issues. I know how this goes. It continues to be worked on. Again, some of these issues are with VR headsets like Oculus, but in the process of trying to resolve the issues and adding new features, audio issues have gotten a little more complex lately and a little more complicated in Altspace VR. They're working on it, and they've resolved many of the general audio issues like the random audio cutoffs and made improvements to the intermittent mute after 10 minutes or so, which has been really frustrating for some event hosts.
World builders love the Oculus FPS panel, but we're sad to say goodbye to it this week with a sorry, we're saying a sad goodbye to it this week with a more robust version by Altspace VR. To locate it, look under Settings, Support, Show Diagnostics panel. FPS is frames per second, that's what it stands for. The measurement of the measure frame rate, the number of consecutive full screen images that are displayed each second. In general, world builders work towards 60 to 72 FPS or higher in their worlds to ensure a quality experience for users and less motion sickness. When it drops below 50, things may appear jittery and pixelated. This is also a reminder for users to check your settings display to ensure your display settings are at a high enough rate for a comfortable experience, but not so high as to hamper experience.
Hmm. Tuesday's update brought another update for the Mac that is especially wonderful for those that are eager with a new accessibility feature, the live captioning and instant translation. Mac is now included in the pilot initiative. Yes, I love that. Mac users should be able to now see the captions and generate captions when the feature is enabled for events. If you haven't experienced the live captioning and instant translation feature, check out the weekly community meetups and events with the program owner, as it's often turned on there for testing. It's available to event hosts only upon request to the Altspace VR team.
More exciting news for the Altspace VR community is that all the documentation has been moved. It's been moved to the Microsoft Docs platform. The new link is now altvr.com/help. That's altvr.com/help. Along with the move came improvements in many of the documents formatting, making them easier to read. We're hoping that the Altspace VR documents team will be adding more documents to support events, world building, and more now that they are off Zendesk and now in the Microsoft world.
Yay, having everything in one place. Now, remember, please, this is so important. If you are having issues, report using the website support at altvr.com/support, or if you're in world, please just take that extra beat or two, go to settings support, write a note, upload your logs to help developers resolve the issues faster. For audio issues, make sure that those hearing the issues report as well as those experiencing the issues. This helps the developers see both sides of the issues. Without those logs, they're just guessing, and we like it when they have the facts because then they tend to fix things faster.
We're here to keep you up to date on the news in Altspace VR community each week. We're here because of you, for you, and with you. If you would like to be a part of our news and updates team, we'd love to have you join us.
Indeed. Now, as we've been talking about for the last few weeks, this is the start of a month-long tribute to Altspace VR as part of the news and updates show. And it's also for our community, a tribute to our community as we prepare for the 6th anniversary of Altspace VR in May. We have videos and photographs and input from so many of you. It is so beautiful with so many in the community have stepped forward to share. If you'd like to participate, please join our news and updates server and share your photos and stories about your favorite moments and experiences in here using the hashtag ASVR birthday. ASVR, that's the abbreviation for Altspace birthday. Okay.
Now, we thought we'd start with a quick timeline of Altspace VR history. The company was founded in 2013 by Eric Romo and his 15-member team of determined VR enthusiasts. Eric Romo was a former SpaceX propulsion lead analyst working to build a social software bridge between the many VR headset makers as well as 2D. It originally ran on MacBook Pro as well as as most available headsets at that time.
Now, their dream was not what exists today. Okay. I just want to let you know it's really fascinating. Their dream was to build a pay per virtual reality chat and communication platform. And Altspace VR hit the world in May 2015. What we now call event spaces or virtual worlds were originally called VR chat rooms. A year later, VR chat stole the name, causing confusion for quite a while. Now, in June 2015, Altspace VR had gained $15.7 million in funding from a very wide swatch of tech companies, and the team grew to 20 members.
2015 was also when Comcast Ventures came on short-lived attempts.
And we're going to showcase a few of those. Hosting events at first with only a lobby and just a few worlds as persistent spaces, the developers were stunned to find people hanging out, talking in Altspace, how dare they, for 3 to 4 hours, way beyond the length of most events. And that started to change their thinking just a little bit.
In 2015, a partnership with Senso Motoric Instruments brought the first eye tracking movement so eyes would follow and react with the avatar's eyes. Great with powerful headsets and desktops. Not so great when the first mobile users began to appear.
In the early years, the avatars had arms and they featured robots and humanoid bodies and the ability to use the XX array feature to scan yourself into VR was part of the earliest days of experimentation.
In 2015, AltSpace VR was launched for the world to use and explore for free. And the world included the earliest users of the Samsung Gear VR headset by Oculus. This headset allowed the user to insert their Samsung phone into it and link to the Oculus store to explore and experiment. Daydream followed not long after, as did the Oculus Go in 2017. From the earliest days, we had YouTube and Netflix, watch parties, conferences, social events, and activities, and so much going on. It was hard to keep up.
In one of the earliest conferences, the AltSpace VR Social Week in September 2015 included presentations and talks by leading experts, but also a reenactment of the scene from Titanic with people dancing and carrying on and pushing the limits of what an avatar could do in VR. It also featured a tour recreating the famous walk through 1,000-degree temperatures and molten hot rock with Sam Kousman as he explored one of the world's 7 permanent lava lakes in the Ambrine volcano in Marum crater in a special protected suit. In Outspace VR, we could walk through without injury, just proving the viability of VR for exploring those dangerous situations without injury and in a group,
Wow. In
hanging
the
out on the
next
volcano.
in the next week, um, the next week was a version of Oculus Connect 2 in VR with a wide range of events, including the live stream from the in person conference in California, interviews, discussions, and wonderful socials, crossing the real experience with VR. The earliest event speaker series were the IT experts and professionals called VR Toast. Say it. Virtual.
VR, yeah, it's VRTO of VRTO. It's virtuoso with VR in front of it. I can't even pronounce it.
So they were VR tech talks, connecting
uh,
industry leaders with pioneering users in VR right here in AltSpace VR.
and the Altspace team threw everything out, innovating, winning some, losing some, but giving everything a try. It was a grand experiment. Some highlights included the integration of perception and axis neuron, an amazing body tracking mocap suit for full body tracking. In October 2015, spatialized audio was added, creating more natural sounding voices that mimic the real world experience. You could walk away from someone and their voices would get quieter.
That week, Gavin White, Director of Engineering, and Bruce Wooden, Head of Community and Developer Relations, announced the first AltSpace VR SDK, allowing the community to start building and creating. In December 2015, the first improvements were made to the avatars, bringing the helicopter and the Bebot robot that we still miss so much every day.
No, I missed the bebop. Games were in Altspace VR from the very beginning, and the first trivia game was called Sketchy Quest, arrived in January 2016. And in February 2016, Tumblr graphics were able to be easily integrated into your worlds and your home spaces.
March 30th, 2016, AltSpace VR hit the Oculus store, embracing all the Gear VR users. In April 2016 was the first VR call feature. It was added for Samsung Gear VR. You could make a VR call and chat, text, message, or email friends or family from inside AltSpace VR. It didn't last for long, but it was amazing and so much fun.
Yeah, I called my mom from inside Altspace. It was amazing. That the same month, VR calls for Slack was introduced for Rift, Vive, and Gear VR, allowing meetings to happen in VR that connected those not only in AltSpace VR to the same meeting. And that was, boy, could we use that today? What fun those days were.
May 16, Front Row arrived on AltSpace VR, the first technology in the metaverse that allowed for event scalability through mirrored event spaces. It was announced along with a performance by longtime VR user and fan Reggie Watts, and was one of the largest events attended in VR at that time. More than 1,200 people were gathered together in that Front Row event.
And remember, at the time, a typical VR experience for multi users was 2 to 4 people. More than that, the performance was terrible. AltSpace VR changed that experience, and front row knocked it out of the park. People could now attend concerts, conventions, and all types of events from the comfort of their living room while being surrounded by many people. It's just shifted. It was just an absolutely fascinating shift in perspective.
With all these people in AltSpace VR, the next step was to introduce Personal Space Bubble. It arrived in July 2016 to make others too close to us disappear so they didn't intrude on our personal space, but also to enjoy crowded concerts and shows by blocking the big head in front of you. By the way, the Space Bubble was developed by the AltSpace VR team of mostly women.
Yeah, I love that. Now, the Friend tool, originally called Friendship, also arrived in July 2016, making it easy for us to bond and communicate with each other. That lasted. Soon after, live captioning and instant translation arrived, but soon disappeared until last year as machine translation and the ability to serve up those translations improved.
August 2016. This was the first big change when it came to event hosting, bringing in the first of the host tools to allow people to create events on their own and see an in world event schedule to help people pick and choose the events they wish to attend. Originally, they were called activities, as events was reserved for the AltSpace VR event team productions, the first of many name changes for events. It also introduced host controls like kicking and muting and video jukebox controls, making it easier to host events and control the crowds. That's how moderators was born.
Yeah. Another game changer arrived in December 2016 with the arrival of The Playground, the SDK kit, the software development kit that introduced what would eventually become Evolve 2, the world editor and Unity uploader. The Playground allowed users to import A-frame components, including architectural building blocks, particle effects, colliders, positional sounds, and so much more.
The first developer initiative grant program began in 2016 and continued for the next year or so to help fund developers from USD 1,000 to $10,000 to encourage community development and features.
One of the next monster events was the sad farewell speech of US President Obama as he prepared to leave the White House in 2017. Literally thousands of people showed up. Well, I don't know, about 800 or so people showed up from around the world. They gathered in AltSpace VR to watch the live stream and share their sadness for the dramatic change that was coming for the next 4 years.
And what many believed was a first, Martin and Alyssa were married on May 25th, 2017, right here in AltSpace VR. They met in AltSpace, eventually met in person, and were married in AltSpace, a perfect occasion.
The first VR Film Festival was in February 2017, setting the traditional film festival format into the non-traditional setting of VR. And the AltSpace VR in Siberia collaboration allowed thousands of people across the world to view the same films at the same time, all together. That was amazing. Constructing a virtual theater with no maximum capacity and a film festival with no entry fee.
The campfire arrived also in February 2017. This space was built with the ground up to help foster new friendships. You could roast marshmallows, shoot fireworks, and play music with other people in VR headsets from around the world.
Yay. And April that year brought us more developer and world building tools with the AltSpace VR SDK that allowed developers to convert 3D websites and A-frame frameworks into AltSpace VR with the new and improved playground.
In June, full body capture was once again making its way into AltSpace VR with the iKinema's breakthrough
Mhm.
technology and Vive trackers. Arms and legs would move independently, which led to a variety of wonderful dance, performance, and exercise events.
Indeed. They were doing aerobics in here. June also brought NBC News to launch a new science and technology series in VR with Seth Shostak, the renowned alien hunter and senior astronomer at the SETI Institute, as the first guest. The series didn't last long, but it was wonderful while it lasted.
The first 360 theater for 360 video was launched soon after, along with more comedians, performers, and entertainers eager to explore this new entertainment and performance venue that broke geographic borders.
Now, Party Portal arrived in March to take you to an event, and all were encouraged to hop on board and travel together. The ability for anyone to generate a portal anywhere soon brought grief to many an event host when that bring sound would hit in the middle of a poignant moment in their event. And half the audience would leave not knowing what they were clicking. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. It's a brilliant way to travel as a group from world to world or from a public space to an event or world.
In July 2017, it was announced that AltSpace VR was closing due to unforeseen financial difficulty. After several years of great funding, the well had literally run dry, as it had for many VR ventures. It was close to it was to close on August 3rd. We'll cover more about this later, but luckily for all of us, the August 3rd special event with Reggie Watts and Bill Nye, the science guy, were not the last events in AltSpace VR. Microsoft stepped in at the very last moment to purchase it, and AltSpace was alive again.
I'd like to say the end, but it was off like a rocket. And we'll cover more of the AltSpace VR timeline next week. We have special coverage on the avatars, the games that came and went, world building, and more on the evolution of AltSpace VR to today. Be here every Saturday as we showcase the history of AltSpace VR in honor of its upcoming anniversary in May. Now, we love our world builders. We love our world builders. They are literally changing our world, changing our perspective on the world around us.
Work is underway for a series of events as part of the Educators in VR Univirtual Experience happening this May for a week-long series of photogrammetry workshops with Mark Jeffcott. This is a rare opportunity to learn and put your skills into action with a demo of students' work at the end of the workshop. It's free, and we'll report the details here as soon as we know them.
We recently learned that some of the AltSpace VR community MRE apps were compromised on April 1st. While some of these were attempts at fun and games, and were kind of intentional, some were not. So please be aware that MREs, the mixed reality extensions, allow scripted programming content to be brought here into AltSpace. They are often crowdsourced and shared among your friends and may not be written by experts in writing secure code. Please attend the regular SDK meetups. Learn from the experts here how to ensure your MREs apps are secure and protected from potential harm and mischief. And keep the sharing going because we love these MREs. They are wonderful. And if you are confident that your MRE is amazing and you want to, please consider submitting it to the AltSpace VR development team. They may include it in the publicly available MREs in the World Editor.
A reminder, excuse me, for those using MREs in your worlds and events, please be aware that the World Diagnostics do not currently track their physical size and how much they impact the performance of your world. But understand this, they do impact the performance of your world. Test them thoroughly, and in events, please use as few as necessary for your event. Just because you can add 20 MREs to your world or event doesn't mean you should. Let's make sure users have a good quality experience by keeping the loads down.
Now, the Outspace VR Discord world building channels are gold when it comes to the massive information and generosity of spirit that these world builders have to share their knowledge. If you are not hanging out in these channels, you are so missing out. You need world building help? Do a search and watch the amazing information come to your aid. Discord has a very powerful search feature, so take advantage of it, learn how to use it. And for those generous souls donating so much of their knowledge and time to help out, thank you. You are not appreciated enough, so please know that you are so loved.
Next month, this month on Earth Day on April
Yes.
22nd, the theme this year is Restore Our Earth. The Earth Day team with Jorgen and World Tours team, educators in VR, and news and updates are celebrating Earth Day all month long, encouraging people to build and share worlds on the theme and about Earth Day. We just learned that the Virtual World Society will be hosting an Earth Day World Tour. It will be happening right on April 22nd. What great fun and a beautiful way to not just show off world building talents, but contribute to the good cause of showcasing solutions or examples of the positive and negative impact we are having on our planet to help make it a better and safer world.
Love it. The World Tours team offers tours to the amazing worlds in Altspace VR on Wednesdays, right after the Altspace VR 101. They offer tips on the basics of world building, answering questions, and inspiring world builders in so many ways. Each month, the World Tours team suggests a theme to encourage the builders to build. And this month, there are two. The first is Earth Day, the other is spring. Now, spring could mean flowers, it could mean sunshine, it could mean jumping on a trampoline or a mattress. We're going to leave all those inspired details to world builders. On the last Wednesday month, suggested and built worlds and tour them, showcasing the creativity that is here in Altspace. And there is so much, it's amazing. So check out their events and join the Discord at discord.me/world tours.
Are you a more advanced builder, willing to push the boundaries of the possible in Altspace VR? Ready to dive into MREs and deeper interactivity and animation in Unity? The regular STK meetups are designed for more advanced world building discussions.
And Dargon's intro to MRE coding. How many have been doing that? Come on, how many have been going to Dargon's events? I know you're out there. Yeah, good on you. They're on Thursdays and now on Saturdays, adding more opportunities to attend. Now, pay attention here and in our Discord and the Altspace VR calendar, but get ready. Thursday, April 9th, the students are going to be showcasing their MRE work in a special event. The students will be there in their various worlds to answer questions and demonstrate their MREs. You don't want to miss that on the 9th. Now, please take advantage of these free opportunities. Check out the classes with the computer science and VR team for free and paid classes and all the workshops with Carnivore, Hartman, and so many other generous people. Love it.
Now, take advantage of the Unity classes that are happening now on the Learn Unity website. Before they go back under a paywall, take the opportunity to learn as much as you can about creating worlds with Unity and importing them into Altspace VR. Speaking of generosity of spirit in the World Builders channels, YouTube is stuffed with many community user created tutorials and videos to take you through all of the steps one by one on building your own world in Altspace VR from beginner through advanced.
And remember, the knowledge base documents link is now changed to altvr.com/help. The Altspace VR docs and dev teams are working hard to update the new help documentation with step-by-step tutorials and instructions on how to build your world and make it compatible with events. And look to community helpers, the people with a green border around their name tag and the heart within. Many are experienced world builders willing to help answer your questions, and there is no end of resources available on world building in Altspace VR.
And we do so love showcasing new worlds here at News and Updates. Let's see what we've uncovered this week to share with you.
Life as a Bug from Daisy Shaw. You actually get an experience from a bug's perspective. You are little tiny and fly is enabled, so you can fly around, ride up and ride the dragonflies, climb the mountains, teleport from mushroom to mushroom, or you can find the secret cave. Just watch out for the snakes.
Alan's Bee Yard is another beautiful tribute on Earth Day as a world where we are reminded of the valuable role bees play in our planet for helping to fertilize plants and create the sweet honey we do so love, right? Alan built the world a few years ago to teach beekeeping classes, and it still serves as a great example of interactivity and the power of Unity design.
If you'd like to see your world featured here, join our News and Updates Discord. Paste us a link in the description to the world and share it in the Share Your Worlds in News channel. Now, last week, we announced that Microsoft is in talks to buy Discord. Wouldn't you like to be a fly on that wall? And it is our favorite voice and chat platform, and is used by many events, including us, to build and support our communities. Now, the purchase price that was thrown around was over $10 billion, approximately 7.2 billion pounds. More discussions and rumors are flying all over the place, but we found an interview with one of the head developers of Discord on NPR, and we learned a few facts that might be of interest to you.
There are now 150 million users on Discord. The user number doubled last year during the pandemic. Discord supports text and voice chat, video conferencing, screen sharing, and now a new staged channel for community servers to have a moderated Clubhouse chat experience.
And Discord is considered a gaming community text and voice chat service. Yet, estimates are that over 70% of the communities on Discord have nothing to do with gaming.
The average number of users on a Discord server is approximately 30. Many families and businesses use it to bring small groups together to share and communicate. Many students are using it for study groups and to support their classes.
A friend of mine uses it as a shopping list. So he and his partner create their shopping list on Discord to remind each other to get things. That's amazing. One of the largest groups that have found a home on Discord, he said, are the LGBTQ plus community. According to Discord chief executive Jason Citron, the pseudonymity lets them share in a more authentic way and really be more of their authentic self because they aren't worried about people judging them. And I love that.
In 2020, Discord tracked 1.4 trillion, that's trillion with a T, minutes of live conversation and 656 billion messages. We're
That's
watching.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's hard to conceive of that. We're watching the news about the potential purchase by Microsoft, so stay tuned. We'll report on it as things develop. Now, we need to talk about events. Our reporters have been busy reporting on events, and there were so many this week, so we're just highlighting a few. If you would like to become a News and Updates reporter like them, please talk to us after the show. We'd love to have you join our crew. It's pretty easy. You just need to take photos at events you actually attend or drop in on any interesting events. Then post a couple photos and a description about info about the event in our reporters private channel. Let us know if you would like to join the team.
Mhm. Last week, if you were lucky enough to attend, the Agrabah Live was an amazing, amazing show and a testament to the artistry and the talent that is here in Altspace. Our reporter Lance was there to capture some of the dazzling images and special events of this incredible production and the sets that are built by the amazing Carnivore and his team of volunteer world builders who just went overtime. The acting was amazing, the performance better than you would find in many theaters, and it left us breathless. Unfortunately, with such a large cast, they're unable to schedule repeat performances due to scheduling conflicts. But we look forward to more original productions and imagination from this new theater group here in Altspace VR.
Community member Delcine was toasted at a special birthday celebration. Oh, I'm talking about my own event. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. It was Delcine's birthday, and she's such a big part of our Live Love community. She's a big part of Altspace VR community, and so we just figured we had to have a birthday party for her. So we had a birthday bash. Um, we did it in one of Artsy's Patreon places that she had. We just had the best time bringing together friends and family for a great experience. And oh my gosh, there was so much cake. Every birthday needs to come with just loads of cake.
Indeed. I love that. I love that. International Trans Day of Visibility was celebrated with a great party here in Altspace VR with fun socializing and networking to ensure all are safe, supported, and celebrated as themselves. Love that.
Now, students in VR, this week had a wonderful guest from the VR industry, including representatives from Vive. Merge, he represents different things. Yeah, it was a great presentation. And Students in VR is taking a break this coming week, and so we'll keep you posted for future events.
Wonderful. I love the speakers that are coming in for that event. Educators in VR training events for 2D navigation and interaction and the Motion 101 events were very well attended and excellent opportunities for event hosts, moderators, and those just wishing to learn how to use 2D in Altspace VR. These will be repeated weekly for the foreseeable future, so make sure you RSVP. We may be changing the times around to accommodate some various time zones, so do subscribe to the Educators in VR channel to ensure that you're updated with the latest schedule of events.
We wish we had more time to cover all the incredible events and activities here in Altspace VR last week. But it's time to bring you some event news and tell what's coming up this week. Remember, this month we are celebrating Earth Day as a month-long project, so keep an eye out for upcoming events, discussions, world tours focused on this very important and huge topic.
This is Easter weekend and the celebration of the vernal equinox. So there's many events this week to celebrate both of them. And among them are Live Love's global Easter celebration starting immediately after the news. So just rush there. As soon as we're done, just go. Okay. There's also the 321 Storytelling and Song Collective event featuring a silent Saturday event for the faith curious, exploring the meaning and power of silence among song and story.
Easter at Church Toronto is tomorrow, as is Easter at VR Church, Lakeland Church, Renaissance Church of Christ Worship, and Cornerstone Church, just to name a few. It's an amazing experience to share these traditional holidays together, especially during the pandemic.
Mhm. Ghost Stories, Fairy Tales and Folklore is a storytelling event by Teresa that will tickle your horror-loving soul. I know who you are out there. You love this stuff. Don't miss out on a chance to share your stories in just a few hours later today.
Tomorrow, the AICU music and artistic community meets to bring together vocalists and composers, instrumentalists and lyricists, painters, and the world builders to celebrate the artistry in our community and theirs.
And Evolve VR has so many wonderful events here in Altspace VR, from meditation, spiritual discussions, and so much. They have a great event with Parisa tomorrow called Radical Acceptance and Loving Awareness that explores mindfulness and meditation practices that centers around radically accepting the present moment as it is with a kind and open awareness, something so many of us need right now.
Monday, Wicked Kitten. Wit, sorry, Wicked Kitten is bringing Pictionary into Old Space VR, where one person draws and the others must guess what is being drawn. It's a great free for all fun party experience.
Love it. Tuesday, the Educators in VR Social will be a mixer with the University of Michigan Special Conference, XR at Michigan, with their Extended Reality Initiative program that's part of the Center for Academic Innovation. Their students have recreated the University of Michigan Diag, which is their equivalent of like the quad open park social space that's surrounded by all the campus buildings, especially for this event. We had an open house on Friday, and it was absolutely stunning to have students come in and say, I've never been on campus. I'm a new student. I'm in my first year, and some are starting their second. They said, I've never been on campus, and now I'm on campus. And people loved it. They felt like they were just right there. It was beautiful for so many people who've been in isolation from lately. So the social event is open to everyone on Tuesday. It is a great opportunity to mix and mingle with the students on their campus, and and also don't forget the XR at Michigan conference is free and online. So check out the event and the articles on educatorsinvr.com for more information so that you can attend and explore the potential for XR in business and education and more all day on April 6th and 7th. 2 days.
Women in XR and Allies is meeting again Wednesday, bringing together women in XR from around the world to meet, network, and share, supporting each other through the Get Social network. It is among one of the largest running groups that began here in Altspace VR, and we are proud to support them.
And Michael McDonald Gold Lotus is back with Educators in VR to offer a series of introductions to English language learning in VR this week and throughout the next few months. The introductions explore the teaching spaces for his paid workshops, including a cafe, a home, a city, and hotel. If you or someone you know has the desire to improve their English language skills, help spread the word.
The Meet the Program Owner monthly event was switched around and is now this Wednesday, giving you an opportunity to connect with Katie Law, also known as Keegan. Hear updates about what's going on with Altspace VR and ask questions and share stories and experiences about how you use this amazing social platform in VR that we call home.
Now, Wednesday, there's also an LGBTQ plus straight ally special event with a peer-to-peer support community for a check-in and non-professional support group. We love our support groups. We have so many of them here in Altspace with great diversity to help serve whatever your needs are, from mental health issues to alcohol issues to weight loss to autism, everything. So please, let's help support all these different groups with various religions, beliefs, and so on. It's an exciting time to be in VR. It really is.
Thursday, Health Systems Chat is back, this time to explore green tech, health, and VR during the IEEE Green Tech Conference. This is a very appropriate conversation to have during Earth Day month. So join Chuck as he explores clean, enviro, and sustainable technology for renewable energy, water and air purification, conservation, and so much more.
This is very exciting. Britton Heller is joining Tom Furness for the Virtual World Society Fireside Chat on Thursday. Britton is a world leader in online hate, privacy, online extremism, cyberbullying, cyber harassment, and civil and human rights. She is a lawyer and internationally recognized expert in changing laws and perspectives on online hate and extremism. So you do not want to miss a minute of this fascinating discussion on Thursday.
The Moral Dilemma with Timon and Ellie are back in the Dilemma Lounge Friday to challenge you with moral dilemma questions and discussions around their virtual table. These are always great fun and intellectual conversations, so don't miss these wonderful events.
Oh, so many events, so little time. We need a 4-hour show to feature all the news you need to know from in and around the Altspace VR community. We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever growing community, and we are so glad you are here. So, we have just a few minutes for our discussion section. All right. Donnie, you want to introduce it? Will I get the little thing already?
Next week, we begin a series of highlights from the past 6 years of Altspace VR. Whether you've been in Altspace for 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years, you've already experienced our amazing community and the activities and events that make Altspace VR so special. We've had our good times and bad times, sad times. So we want to open up the floor to share and discuss your memorable experiences in Altspace VR and find out what history you would like to see us feature in upcoming shows as we move towards that 6-year anniversary of Altspace VR happening this May. So does anyone
Mhm.
have any thoughts?
Hit that raise hand button and let's hear from you. So, Donna, what about you? We know you have to leave right away for your event coming up pretty soon. So, let's hear from you first.
Oh, I'm not good to go first. I haven't thought about this. Sorry. Oh, my
When did
brain's
you
trying to
when
figure out what I'm going to do for Easter at 1:30 this morning.
when
uh,
so when did you arrive in Altspace? You remember your first
in the
impression?
in the spring of 2018, and it was yeah, and it was VR Church was the first event I went to. It was in Altspace VR. And I have to say that, so I just told a few people this week. I people don't I'm an introvert, and talking with people is just really difficult for me. And so I was here from the spring of 2018 until January of 2019 before I had 12 friends, before I was literally connected with a dozen people. I just stayed in the background and just watched, but I love stuff like they said that the Hive was really big back then. Laura, somebody named Laura had Saturday
Mhm.
night events that fascinated me. I loved Tech Talk. Those kinds of events that were the ones that I really gravitated. And at that time, we had hardly any music. And that's what I really wanted was music in Altspace, and boy, did it come in spades.
It did. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, you're not alone. Many people started out just kind of I did too. I was absolutely a sponge. Lance, let's hear from you.
Well, okay, my first impression at the time when I first joined, I had no clue how it was going to turn out or something. I was like, this is interesting. I stayed muted for quite a while because my social anxiety, but so far when I started, to go to the Halloween thing and go to a few worlds and a few events, making some friends I got now that yeah, my first impression wasn't very good, but throughout me, coming here more and more, now I'm too addicted to it. So
I love
love
it.
world
Oh,
building. So
wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I know there's others of you out there that have first impressions, and that's beautiful, Lance. Thank you. We're so glad you're here, and I love that you're part of our team now. It's wonderful. What is your first impression, or what would you like to know about the history of what went before? What are you curious about? Did y'all know that live captioning was available all those years ago and then it just came back in just recently? I thought that was amazing. And wouldn't it be fun to have so many of the different features that they had originally? The ability to like 2 clicks, bring an image in from Tumblr, to be able to make phone calls. I love all those things. Anyone else want to share a memory or an experience? We would love that. I know Karen and Diamond have plenty, and I know Dragon S does too, so don't be shy. Hit that raise hand button. All right, Margie Diamond, thank you.
The first thing that comes to my mind is being able to fly. I still think that is and continues to be one of the most wonderful things that we can do in VR. And there's so many things and so many fun things that have happened. The Easter egg hunt last year was wild, and that was a great time. But just the friends, and I'll agree with Lance, the friends that I've made, during COVID, when we were so isolated, it was a lifesaver. So that's it for me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. I love it. Ancient, I won't say.
Well, yeah, pretty much my first experience. I was as well one of those who was staying background, and yeah, first when I read about the SDK and the possibility to actually script and create their things, that was a point for me to decide that could be a place to stay and to create things, to create amazing things. And, well, the rest is history, as you know.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say again, I love working with so many creative, imaginative people. And I was talking to Ancient, I won't say, and we were discussing a project we're working on, and I said, we need to make an earthquake. You've all heard this. Many of you had. We need an earthquake machine here in Altspace so that we can shake and rattle and roll and emulate. And so he went out and he made one. It's like the next day he goes, here you go. Here's an earthquake machine. And there's so many times where I just love that kind of collaboration and camaraderie. It's just beautiful. All right. Thank you, my friend. That's beautiful. I love it. All right, Dragoness, you're up.
Okay. Okay, one thing I guess for me was really big was like I was kind of like Donna at the beginning where like just quiet and hold back, but like I discovered the CS in VR and I was just really intrigued and like I had a fascination for computers years before and it just kind of like was such perfect timing, like because that was when Unity started doing their um, letting people do stuff for free and stuff, and that was when Nick started doing classes in the CS and VR, and I don't know, I just really love it, and I've met so many great people, and
You want to share what you're about
it's
to
amazing.
embark on?
So we're working on a like a homeschooling VR.
It's virtual schooling team project with educators in VR.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. Yes. So look for that at the conference next month.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you. Isn't it amazing that you go to some things, you meet a few people, and then that escalates to something else, and then something else, and then something else. It's really exciting. Yeah, love it. All right, we have here from the live stream chat, we have Mike Porter who says hello from the metaverse. And he says the first time was on an Oculus Go trying out Altspace VR based on a recommendation from Disrupt on YouTube. He thought it was an interesting concept of an explorable space, but he visited something that was reminiscent of a much more grown-up Habbo Hotel. And then he says, when I first committed to trying an event with educators in VR, I was a sponge too, and I remained silent for the first few events. Then I got brave, and I asked my first question. Oh my gosh. He says, I asked my very first question to Laurel of all people. It was nerve-wracking, and then I realized that it was, as Donna puts it, a different kind of coffee shop. it suddenly became really cool and it felt so real to hang out with everyone, even though we were thousands of miles apart all over the world. Now I feel proud to have friends in VR and I'm excited to see where things go next in the virtual space. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Mike. That is beautiful. I love that. All right, we're going to take one more. Donna has gone off to her event. And Karen, you're up.
Okay, well, I think everyone's heard about my first experiences in here, so I just wanted to make a couple comments. And one, agreeing with Lance and Margie and Dragoness, that I think the friends thing is so important in here. I mean, I just have made lifelong friends in here, and it's beautiful. And then the second thing, like what Margie was saying about flying, we were in a meeting the other day, and someone was sharing their screen, and I had flown up so I could see up close. I could see the screen up close. I didn't think anything of it. And then later on, after I was offline, I thought, wow, you can't do that in the other world, right? You can't fly up at a workshop or whatever and look at the screen. And I thought that's extended my reality, because I was learning something, but I had the opportunity to do that. And yet it didn't seem weird or out of place. It felt totally natural. So, there comes a point where, I don't mean to sound weird here, like I need to be analyzed by a psychiatrist. I probably do, but there
we all do. We all do.
there comes a point where these two worlds collide. You put your headset on and you go into VR and you're immersed where you are. Right now, I'm sitting in a chair in my living room, and now I'm consciously aware of it because I said it. But until I said that, I wasn't really consciously aware of that. I'm consciously aware that I'm surrounded here by my friends, and I feel very comfortable. I'm in a comfortable environment. I feel like I'm sitting in this chair because I'm actually sitting in a chair in the other world. I like to call it the other world, not the real world, because this is the real world too. All right, I'll be quiet. I talk too much, but that's it.
No, that's beautiful. No, that is absolutely beautiful. Ah, wow. I'm spellbound by it. You just beautifully summed up the magic that is AltSpace. It's very hard for us to explain to people. I was a couple of years ago, I was bitching and moaning about having computer problems. And I'd found out just like the week before that one of my friends in here lives just not very far from me and is a computer server expert. So I was bitching and he overheard me and he messaged me on Discord and said, "Why don't I just come over and fix it?" Like, wait a minute, I know you in VR, so I said, "Sure." So he just came over and he fixed my computer. And we got to meet in person and we've stayed really good friends through that. And he's not very far. And during the pandemic, that's been even more important. Went over and brought he and his husband some Christmas presents, and we stood across the front lawn just in our masks so that we could, wish each other Merry Christmas and stuff. And that was just really beautiful. And I do know there's many events that have happened here where people have gotten together in the real world. We don't need to, because I'm closer to many of the people here than I am in a lot of the real world experiences. So beautifully described, Karen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. We're going to be asking for more of these over the next month as we celebrate the 6-year, at least from the launch of AltSpace, the 6-year anniversary of AltSpace. And that's it for this week's news and update. So thank you for being here and sharing all of these things. We are here for you every week. We stream the news live onto YouTube, and you can catch up with all of our past episodes as well. And when the news happens, we share it on our Discord so that you get the news as soon as possible. Mark was one of the first to make sure that everyone had out the news about the Azure server thing. So, we do our very best to not sleep and bring you as much of the news as fast. And we do this for free. We are not employees. Our team works hard. We spend about 10 to 20 hours a week doing this for you. We're a great team, and we'd love to have you join us if you would like. So we're going to hang around for a little bit. Please go off to Donna's great event that is happening, just started a couple minutes ago. Go off to the other events that are there. But if you want to hang around, we will chat with you after the show. If you'd like to join us, we will teach you what you need to know to help produce an event and do all the little nitpicky things with it. Thank you to our volunteers and our moderators and everyone who helps us make this happen. So thank you, and be safe wherever you are in the world.